of you. Now we are going to start the afternoon session, the final session of this seminar, which will be followed by the valedictory function. So this will be on Itihasas, Puranas and Kavyas. And this will be under Dr. M. Narasimhachari Memorial Endowment. To give this lecture under Professor M. Narasimhachari's memory, we have got a very eminent scholar who will be chairing this session, Professor Dr. G.S.R. Krishnamurthy. Please welcome him. He had been a professor of Sanskrit in our Kanchipuram Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Vishwa Mahavidyalaya. Then he moved to Tirupati as the head of the Department of Sahitya. Presently he is the registrar of SV University Tirupati. Numerous awards have been conferred upon him, and one great award is Maha Mahopadhyaya at a very young age. And he is no stranger to the Sanskrit College premises or to our research institute. We have met him in some seminars, we have heard him, we have enjoyed his lecture. Asukavi Ashtavadhani also. So he is a multifaceted personality. We are indeed thankful to him for accepting our invitation. We just spoke to him over phone and he readily accepted to come over here from Tirupati. Professor G.S.R. Krishnamurthy is Sahitya Vidya Pravina. He holds 2 MA and then PhD in Sanskrit. He is a well-known poet and also an Ashtavadhani. He has specialized in many branches of Sanskrit literature, including grammar, darshanas, scientific literature in Sanskrit, textual criticism and editing, comparative aesthetics, translation techniques from Sanskrit into regional languages and creative writing. So it is very apt that he will be giving the lecture under Dr. M. Narasimhachari Endowment, because Dr. M. Narasimhachari had all these qualities in him. And he is presently registrar. You see Venkateswara Vedic University Tirupati, SV University Tirupati, and he has guided more than 20 PhD scholars. Now he is guiding 10 PhD scholars and more than 24 MPhil scholars. He has written more than 50 research articles. They have been published in Sanskrit, English, Hindi, Telugu. He is a Bahubhasha Pravina. He has presented papers in national and international conferences. And he has written 100 poetical works published in various magazines. He has participated in more than 150 national and international conferences. So he is much sought after, including the Prasar Bharati, Doordarshan, Sahitya Academy, and anything connected with Sanskrit with Government of India. And he has published many books, notable among them being Lagudhvanyaloka with Guru Kripa commentary, Prayogikam Vyakaranam, an elementary grammar for beginners, Navarupakam, and then he has also written allegorical poetry. So much of contributions have come from his pen, and among the many awards that have been conferred upon him, Sahitya Puraskar from Uttar Pradesh, Government of Uttar Pradesh Sanskrit Samsthan in 1992, Vasishtha Sahitya Puraskar, UP Sanskrit Academy in 2000, and Maha Mahopadhyaya from Prayag, Allahabad, 2009. He has also designed syllabus for translation techniques and creative writings, choice-based credit system of Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyapita Tirupati. We can go on adding his qualifications, his awards, his achievements. Suffice it to say that he is eminently qualified to occupy this position, and we are sure that he is going to occupy many more higher positions in life. Thank you, sir, for coming over here, and especially to give lecture under Dr. M. Narasimhachari. And may I now request Dr. Raghavan's son is here, our senior vice president, Mr. Sri Kalidas. I request him to honor Dr. G.S.R. Krishnamurthy. And a token of a souvenir. Thank you, sir. Dr. Kalidas also does not require any introduction. Being brought up in the Sanskrit culture, he knows more Sanskrit scholars than any one of us here. Because people from all over the world used to come to Dr. Raghavan, and he remembers all of them. And he has done a lot of work also. He has acted in Sanskrit dramas, and he has been helping us in a big way. Thank you, sir, for coming over here. And now we have the valedictory function at 4 o'clock. So we have got 2 hours for this session on Itihasa, Purana and Kavyas. Now I request Dr. G.S.R. Krishnamurthy Garu to take over the chair and enthrall us with his lecture. Professor Krishnamurthy.
श्रीभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री वेंकटाद्रिनिलयः कमला कामुकः पुमान् अभंगुर विभूतिर्न स्तरंगयति मंगलम्। महतः प्रमोदस्य अयम् अवसरः। अत्र च यथा भीमरथोत्सवः इति गच्छते, प्रायः 70 वर्षीयाणां कृते क्रियमाणः महोत्सवः भवति मनुष्याणां, किन्तु अत्र च अस्याः संस्थायाः भीमरथोत्सवः यदि आचर्यते इति महान् आश्चर्यस्य विषयः, आमोदस्य विषयः, प्रमोदस्य विषयश्च भवति। यदि 70 वर्षाणि भवन्ति चेत् अस्माकं वज्र जयन्त्युत्सवः अथवा वज्र नाम डैमण्ड् जुबिली इत्यादि एवं रूपेण क्रियते। अत्र महतः आश्चर्यमिदं भवति। अस्याः संस्थायाः दिनप्रवर्धमानायाः संस्थायाः तत्र अभिनन्दनम् अस्माभिः कर्तव्यं भवति। संस्थान शोधमार्गस्य वर्धितम् अभिवर्धितं वर्धताम् अभिवर्धतां कुप्पुस्वामी महाभाग नाम्ना संस्थापितं पुरा। कुप्पुस्वामी महाभागानां नाम्ना संस्थापितमिदं भवति। वी राघवन् महोदयेन राघवेण च जानकी भगिनी सापि एका तत्र आसीत्, सा अस्माकमेव तत्र अध्यापिका आसीत्। वर्धितं ग्रन्थकोटिभिः प्रायः 50 ग्रन्थैः अयञ्च इदं संस्थानम् अभिवर्धितं भवति। वर्धते च सप्तदशकैः, वर्धते सप्तदशकैः 7 decades आर् सप्तदशकैः युतं भीमरथोत्सवैः, युतं भीमरथोत्सवैः अधुना कामेश्वरी महाभागया वर्धिता इयं तत्र या संस्था वर्तते वर्धताम् अभिवर्धताम् इति अनेन अभिनन्दनेन तत्र मया अस्मिन् कार्यक्रमे अध्यक्षीयं किमपि वक्तव्यमिति मया चिन्तितं। प्रथमतः अत्र च वर्तन्ते इतिहास पुराण काव्यादीनि भवन्ति। इतिहासे समागताः सन्ति ते महानुभावाः। अत्र एवमेव श्रीकान्तमहाभागाः अपि पुराणेषु वदन्ति। तदाधारीकृत्य किञ्चिदिव मया अत्र प्रस्तूयते काव्यविषये अपि। अनेन 3 मार्गैः अयं कार्यक्रमः तत्र अग्रे भविष्यति। This is at the outset I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers for giving this opportunity to be a part of this August occasion. The Kuppuswamy Shastri Research Institute is recognized as one of the highly reputed organizations Shastras in Sanskrit and Oriental learning. It is kind of organization which is private registered body. Now also it is affiliated to private registered body. And sometimes some grants from Samsthan's grants also in Janaki tenure, sir, madam. Voluntary, public, non-profit and non-governmental started with an aim to promote Sanskrit and Oriental learning in India today. It is counted among the elite classes of topmost efficient research institutes working in the same field. Besides learning in Sanskrit and Oriental language, it is also engaged in conducting research on ancient and modern lines. Founded in the year 1944, presently it has a batches of number of students dedicatedly learning Sanskrit and Oriental subject. Apart from regular Sanskrit classes, this also organizes the frequent meetings and conferences of scholars and conduct seminars. It is one of the seminars conducted today in the Bhimaratha Mahotsava in this occasion. Now, Professor Kripuswami Shastri was a Sanskrit scholar of repute in India during his time. He had devoted his lifetime to study of Sanskrit and Indology. He was a professor, editor, author in Sanskrit language and of Sanskrit heritage and other languages. He was a well-known scholar, literary figure of yesterday years in India and abroad after India. I express my Shraddhanjali to his divine soul. Kupuswami, Samyakhya Vidushe, Labdha Yashas Charirine, Shraddhanjali Ayam Datta, Vidushe Swins Raksangake. Anena, Sloke Neva, Shraddhanjali Maya Devitiyate. In this occasion of Bhimaratha Mahotsava, I congratulate the organizers for celebrating 70th anniversary. In these 2 days celebrations, many endowment lectures are organized. It is also significant that Dr. M. Narasimhachari Memorial Endowment Lectures are also included here. Dr. M. Narasimhachari, born in Arthamuru village in East Godavari district, which is, I am belonging to that place. That's why I am proud of it. In this memorial, the occasion, I am presiding over this function. He was educated in Chennai. He taught in Indian and foreign universities, Oxford being the most notable among them. He earned his PhD in Sanskrit from the University of Madras under the guidance of Dr. V. Raghavan for his work on contribution of Yamunacharya to Visishtadvaita. He was a strong researcher, an inspiring teacher, a spontaneous poet, a fluent speaker and an easy exponent of the most brief principles of Vedanta, especially in Visishtadvaita, who charmed the scholars and the students alike. It is my privilege to express my tribute to his works in Sanskrit literature. Narasimhacharya Vidushe, Yasho Bhasura Murtaye, Smurchanjala Rayun Natya, Charpaye Buddha Samsadi. Yanena Sloke Neva Teshamatmapi Tatra Shraddhanjalim Vidhaya Adhana Arabhyate Prasangismin. The selected topic is a burning issue in today's world. The seminar is on environmental and ecological awareness in ancient India. The papers have been presented in multi-dimensional views through the Vedas, Agamas, Dharmashastra, Arthashastra, Vrikshayurveda and Ayurveda. In today's session, Dr. N. Sundareswaran will be presenting his paper on the basis of Itihasa and Dr. K. Srikant Sharma on Purana. He already came here and also prepared. He will present his paper in Itihasa. The Itihasa Purana Bhyam Vedam Samapuram Hayet. In Hinduism has always been environmentally sensitive philosophy, which is the Itihasa and Purana, even Vayamapi Vedasya Tatra Upabrahmanaya Upayuktam Bhavati Chasma Vijayate Eva. That Veda yet pradvayitam tadeva asmabhis svikritam vartate Vedaha chaturtha vibhakta bhavati अस्माभिः ज्ञायते एव संहिता ब्राह्मणम् आरण्यकम् उपनिषत् तत्र one of the parts of the Vedas the Aranyaka is the essential thing that the Veda never forgot the Aranyaka that means environmental sciences and ecology एवमेव अस्माभिः ज्ञायते एव सर्वत्र आरण्य आश्रमेषु चतुर्ष्वपि वानप्रस्थाश्रमे एकः भवति तदपि environmental and ecological aspects of this our life Vanaprastha is the one of the char ashramas that evan rupena vayam pashyamah chet asmakam vedat arabhya asmakam ashramebhyah arabhya environmental and ecological tatra awareness asmabhih drashtum shakyate prachina samayadeva. This is the Hinduism. Hinduism has always been environmentally sensitive philosophy. We know that. No religion perhaps lays as much emphasis on environmental ethics in Hinduism. The Mahabharata, Ramayana, Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Puranas and Smriti contain the earliest message for preservation of environmental and ecological balance. Nature or earth has never been considered a hostile element to be conquered or dominated. In fact, man is forbidden from exploiting nature. He is taught to live in harmony with nature and recognize the divinity prevails in all elements, including plants and animals, flora and fauna also. The rishis of the past have always had a great respect for nature. They were not superstitious, primitive theology. They perceived the all material manifestations are a shadow of the spiritual. The Bhagavad Gita advises us not to try to change the environment, improve it and wrestle with it if it seems hostile. At times tolerate it. Ecology, an inherent part of a spiritual world view in Hinduism. The language of these texts is the epic Sanskrit. The importance of forests in Indian epics can be understood from the fact that each epic devotes one book to the forests. That means in Mahabharata, Aranya Parva, the one part of this book dedicated to Aranya itself. And Ramayana also Aranya Kanda. The importance of forests in Indian epics can be understood from the fact each epic devotes one book to the forest. The divisions Ramayana into Kandas books, that volumes also include one Kanda known as Aranya Kanda, the book of the forest. In Mahabharata it is the Aranya Parva, also Vanaparva, Aranya Parva, Aranyaka Parva, the book of the forest, which mentions the period of 12 years spent by Pandavas in exile in the forest. That means Aranya, that way Aranya Kanda, Aranya Parva, Aranyaka Parva, Vana Parva, whatever may be. The world of Ramayana and Mahabharata is blessed with the richness of greenery of nature. Its sky is clean. Weathers perform their journey with their all qualities and remain uninterpreted. Its rivers are full of neat and clean water. The Braji is pure and nourishing, and the flow of life around is healthy. In a kingdom where someone dies immature is criticized in those days. Growing, making ponds are considered pious. There is no scarcity of natural fountains. People love nature and worship it like God. Elements of nature have been attached with the festivals. Many rivers, mountains, trees, animals and birds are worshipped. In Puranas, dynasties worshipping some sacred trees like Ikshvakus, that dynasty tree is Kovidara Vriksha dynasty tree. And Ikshvaku Vansha, just like for instance in Ikshvaku Vansha, kings used to worship Kovidara Vriksha, just like our Kula Deivam, Kula Vriksha. It is in those days in Ramayana we can find this one. People used to worship Semi Vriksha in Vijayadashmi for to defeat the enemies. The Semi Vriksha on the occasion of Vijayadashmi, sacred trees of each kshetra played pivotal role in its Mahatmyam. That means our Ekamranatha Ishwar, that is Ekamra, the mango tree, Jambukeshwar, the Jambu tree. And also in Tirupati also there is Sthalavriksha is there. In Venkatachala Mahatmya, Termen tree, the Chinta Chetu, Alipidi, Alipiri, Adi Nama Chinta. Chinta means that is tamarind tree. Tamarind tree that is also there. In so many the kshetras, in kshetras that is Pala, Vriksha, and there are so many trees are worshipped just like the Sthala Vriksha. And also Jagannatha also the part of Vriksha, that means it is our tradition. Now the important, it is my view, I am elaborating this point of view. The battle between Rama and Ravana was in sense a war between a love of nature and the love of ostentation and power. That's why Chaturdasha Rakshasaha Dandakaranya asan. Tatra Dandakaranye tat pidam yada kritavantaha Rakshasaha tasmin samaye Ramaha agatya punaha tasya nakannu nakkananam ninaya mama aranyam yadasti tad swarganev simanam prapitavan Ramaha. Yete Rakshasaha asmakam tatra सर्वत्रापि नाशनं कृत्वा यत् कृतवन्तः तत् पुनः तत् जातं स एव रामः नाम स एव रावणः जटायुषं यदा मारितवान् मारणार्थं प्रवृत्तः अयं पुनः उज्जीवनार्थं प्रवृत्तः रामः जटायुषी विषये पुनः गच्छ लोकान् अनुत्तमान् इति अत्र एवमेव प्रायः राक्षसानां तत्र देवानां च मध्ये तत्र प्रकृतिसन्तोलनमेव प्रथमं तत्र लक्ष्यमासीत् अनेन ज्ञायते. Love of ostentation and power. This theme is apparent through the course of entire epic. For example, Rama's appeal to birds and forest-dwelling creatures to fight alongside him. The peaceful and mutually beneficial coexistence of nature and man is also exemplified in Rama's bridge building efforts. That Setu Tadapi Taireva Karitam. Tayeva Tatra Avyantaraha asan. Engineers are monkeys. Tasmin Samaya asit. Other Banava Eva Tatra Banavaha Jata, Banava Eva Banavaha Jata, Ohoyo imbalance of in natural resources. Tad Asmavi Drashta, Sekyate. Even Rupena. Rama was never once let down by the creatures he put faith in, while the opposing forces from Lanka were riddled with factious behavior and deceit. Ravana's defeat also stands testament to the fact that no amount of technology or scientific advancement can save a deviant society from the wrath of nature. In Mahabharata, when the Pandavas were given half the kingdom, idancha asmabhir drashtavayam bhavati, Ramayana Mahabharata yuddham ativa bhayankaram asit, tasmabhir jnatum sakyate. Mahabharate yuddham jatam, yuddhasya antimam kim bhavati ityukte tatra nirveda eva bhavati. Nirveda nama sthayi bhavaha, shantarasasya sthayi bhavaha Mahabharate shantaha iti. इदंच परमं लक्ष्यं मोक्षेव परमः पुरुषार्थः इति तेन प्रतिपादितं ध्वन्यालोकेपि आनन्दवर्धने तत् स्थापितं वर्तते. अत्र अस्माभिः इदं ज्ञातुं शक्यते महाभारतस्य मूलं किमस्ति. अरण्यकर्तनमेव महाभारतस्य मूलं निदानमस्ति. अरण्यकर्तनं किं भवति? यदा तु अवश्यं यावत् भारतं डिवैड् कर्तुं सेपरेट् कर्तुम् अस्माकं निश्चयो जातः तस्मिन् समये नगराणि तत्र अस्माभिः विभक्तानि भवेयुः तैः इत्युक्ते वानप्रस्थं इन्द्रप्रस्थं वृकप्रस्थं जयन्तं वारणावतम् इति 4 नगराणि सन्ति यथा अधुना अस्ति कलकत्ता मद्रास् चेन्नै एवं रूपेण बाम्बे दिल्ली ये 4 नगराणि सन्ति तर्हि द्वे नगरे कस्यचित् द्वे नगरे कस्यचित् देयं भवति किन्तु अयञ्च यदि हस्तिनापुरं यदस्ति तद् दत्तवान् दुर्योधनाय कौरवाणां कृते ते पाण्डवानां कृते किं दत्तवान् खाण्डवप्रस्थम् अरण्यं दत्तवान् अगतिकगत्या तदरण्यं कर्तयितव्यम् आपतितं तत्र कारणं कः भवति तत्र अर्जुनः भवति युधिष्ठिरः तस्य नगरमेव नास्ति दे अरण्यं किं जातम् अर्बनैजेशन् जातम् अर्बनैज्ड् दट् फारेस्ट् तदानीं किं जातं तस्य अरण्यस्य दाहः कर्तव्यः आपतितः तद् दहनमपि जातं तस्मिन् दहने मयः इति कश्चन असुरः तत्र आसीत् मयब्रह्मा सः शरणमागतवान् तस्मै किं दत्तवान् तस्मै शरणं दत्तवान् इदमेकं कारणम् अस्ति इदं च स्थाप्यताम् यत्र अग्निः यदा दाहं कृतवान् यतः सः अजीर्णेन ग्रस्तः आसीत् अजीर्णेन यदा ग्रस्तः आसीत् तदर्थं किमपेक्षितम् इत्युक्ते औषधयः अपेक्षिताः औषधयः कुत्र सन्ति काण्डवप्रस्थे सन्ति काण्डवप्रस्थ औषधीनां भक्षणं कुरु तेन च तव अजीर्णरोगः शान्तो भवति इति तत् कारितवान् अयञ्च सन्तुष्टः अग्निः किं दत्तवान् गाण्डीवं दत्तवान् पुनः किं दत्तवान् अक्षतूणीरान् दत्तवान् तर्हि एतद्वयमपि किं जातं महाभारते तत्र शत्रूणां मारणाय उपयुक्तमासीत् यदि निष्पक्षपाततया सः कः धृतराष्ट्रः स च नगराणि यद्येव दद्यात् तदानीं इन्द्रप्रस्थ खाण्डवप्रस्थस्य दाहस्य आवश्यकता नास्ति तेनैव दाहेन यत् घातकमासीत् गाण्डीवं तत्र अक्षयतूणीरादिकं यदासीत् तत् तेनैव लब्धं तर्हि अस्तु नाम यदस्ति चेत् इतरेषां रक्षणाय तत् सर्वमपि अपेक्षितं भवेत् किन्तु किं जातं तत्रैव महिषभा आगता इयञ्च महिषभा तत्र अत्यन्तं तत्र अद्वितीया सभा कुत्र अस्ति तत्र इन्द्रप्रस्थे अस्ति इन्द्रप्रस्थे तत्र अयञ्च किं कृतवान् राजसूययागं कृतवान् राजसूययागेन किं जातं तत्र दुर्योधनः आगतः आगमनानन्तरं कुत्र गतवान् महिषभायां स्वस्य यः स्वयं इन्फीरियर् भवति इन्फीरियारिटि काम्प्लेक्स् इट्सेल्फ् तत् किं स्वस्य अपमानं चिन्तयति एतावत्पर्यन्तं दुर्योधनस्य पार्श्वे यद्यपि अनेकानि नगराणि सन्ति बहुधनमस्ति अस्माकं प्रान्ते वर्तते तेलङ्गाणाराज्ये बहुधनं तैरेव दत्तं तद्भ्येभ्यः एव दत्तम् अस्माकं कृते किमपि नास्ति तिरुपति अथवा अस्माकं किमपि नास्ति तद्वदेव जातं यावद्धनमस्ति तत् तावद्धनं यावन्नगराणि सन्ति तावन्ति नगराणि दुर्योधनाय दत्तं किन्तु अनेन किञ्चित् लब्धं महिषभा लब्धा यत् अद्वितीया भवति यूनिक् तत् मीटिङ्ग् हाल् भवति प्यालेस् तदानीं तेन च अतीव ईर्षा आगता ईर्षा अनुभूता तस्य च प्रेरिका का आसीत् द्रौपद्याः परिहासः प्रेरकः आसीत् यदि एवं रूपेण न भवति चेत् मयस्य रक्षणमपि न कुर्यात् महिषभायाः लाभः अपि न भवति महिषभया सह ईर्ष्यापि न भवति दुर्योधनस्य तर्हि दुर्योधनस्य पराभवो न भवति चेत् मायाद्योतं न भवति चेत् अरण्यवासः न भवति महाभारतयुद्धमेव न भवति तर्हि इन्बेलेन्स् तत् जातं किल यदि सेपरेशन् अस्माभिः कर्तव्यमिति चेत् सोदरयोः तदानीं समानतया तत् सेपरेट् करणीयमस्ति एते चत्वारः भवन्ति यत्र कुत्रापि भवन्ति इति तत्र किमुच्यते अस्माकं सञ्जय दौत्यं सः कथयति सञ्जयं प्रति कथयति एवं कथयतु पाण्डवानां कृते भवन्तः 14 वर्षाणि तत्रैव यापितानि नाम 12 वर्षाणि अरण्ये यापितानि अस्माकं दुर्योधनः भवने वासं करोति अस्य किमपि न सहते भवन्तः सोढवन्तः अरण्यदुःखानि अनुभवन्ति अतः भवन्तः तत्रैव तिष्ठन्तु दुर्योधनः अत्रैव तिष्ठति इदमेव सञ्जयदौत्यकार्यं भवति। एवं रूपेण तत्र नगरं यदि तेभ्यः दीयते तदानीं नगरस्य स्थाने अरण्यं दत्तं किल, अरण्यं दत्तं चेत् एतत् करणीयमेव भवति। अर्बनैजेशन् तद् जातम् इति अरण्यानां कर्तनेन एतेन महानर्थः जातः। कर्ता कारयिता चैव प्रेरकश्चानुमोदकः सुकृते दुष्कृते चैव चत्वारः समभागिनः। तत्र कारितवान् कः? अस्माकं तत्र धृतराष्ट्रः कारितवान् इत्युक्ते तस्मै एतत् दत्तवान्, तस्य वंशः निर्मूलनं जातं, नाशः जातः किल। सम्पूर्णतया कोऽपि एकोऽपि बालकः नास्ति। तर्हि कृतवान् कः? युधिष्ठिरः स्वयमेव। अर्जुनः, अर्जुनस्य पुत्र एव मृतः। अभिमन्युः पुत्र एव गतः, तत्र वंशाङ्कुरः एव नास्ति। उपपाण्डवाः सर्वेपि मारिताः। अन्ततो गत्वा यदि उत्तरायाः गर्भे विद्यमानः परीक्षित् एकः अवशिष्टः कृष्णस्य कृपया, तर्हि एक अपरः वंशः नष्टः। कार्यकर्ता प्रेरकः, प्रेरकः नाम कः? कृष्णः आसीत्। स कृष्णस्य यदुवंशनिर्मूलनमपि यदुवंशोऽपि नष्टः। यदा गान्धारी शापग्रस्तः आसीत् तत्र यदुवंशोऽपि नष्टः। पश्यन्तु, एकस्य अरण्यस्य नाशनेन त्रयः वंशाः नष्टाः। 3 डैनेस्टीस् डिस्ट्राय्ड्, एबालिश्ड्। तत्सर्वमपि अस्माभिः ज्ञायते एव। इदमेव दर्शयति व्यासः महाभारत इतिहासस्य मुखेन। यदि अस्माभिः सम्यक्तया रक्षणं न क्रियेत तदानीं किं भवति? सर्वेषां नाश एव भवति। न क्रियते नाश एव भवति इति दर्शनार्थं व्यङ्ग्यमर्यादया, इन् अदर् वर्ड्स्, सा दर्शयति। इदञ्च महाभारतयुद्धस्य इदञ्च मदीयेव चिन्तनमस्ति। यदि भवन्तः अङ्गीकुर्वन्ति चेत् सन्तोषः। यदि अत्र कोऽपि मम त्रुटिः अस्ति चेत् मम कथनस्य आशयः अस्ति, यदि महाभारतं युद्धं वर्णितं शान्तरसः तत्र भीभत्सरसः वीररसो नास्ति, शान्तरसः एव यदि स्वीक्रियेत महाभारतयुद्धेनैव तत्र अयं सन्देशः दीयते। केन? व्यासेन। अत एव भृगुभार्गवसंवादे स कथयति, तत्र एते वृक्षाः सर्वेपि प्रायः तत्र अन्तःसंज्ञा भवन्ति, एते सुखदुःखसमन्विताः अन्तः जीवाः भवन्ति। यदि सम्यक्तया जलसेचनं क्रियते सम्यक् वृद्धिं गच्छति। अधुना अयञ्च वृक्षायुर्वेदे कथितवान्, यदा वृक्षस्य अस्माकं कृते तत्र मांसादिभक्षणं यदि भवति तेन सन्तुष्टिः जायते। वृक्षाणामपि मांस तत्र वर्धनेन तेषामपि जायते इति दोहदप्रक्रियायां वर्तते न वा? तद्वर्तते। सुरपालस्य वृक्षायुर्वेदे वर्तते, पाराशरस्य कृषिपाराशरे वर्तते, सर्वत्रापि तद्वर्तते। तर्हि मध्यमपि दीयते चेत् अतीव सन्तुष्टाः भवन्ति वृक्षाः। शोकरमांसः अपि दातुं शक्यते। पश्यन्तु, ecological and environmental awareness in those days, Surpalas, Vriksha Ayurveda, Krishi Parashari, and Vriksha Ayurveda in Agni Purana also. So many texts are there. Tat sarvamapi teneva darshitam bhavati. अतः एतेन तत्र भृगुभार्गवसंवादे शान्तिपर्वणि पुनः कथितवान्। किं कथितवान्? वृक्षाणामपि जीवः वर्तते, जीवस्य संरक्षणं कर्तव्यं भवति, अस्माकमेव तद् भवति इति स अयमेव भीष्माचार्यः तं प्रति सूचयति, कं युधिष्ठिरं प्रति सूचयति। जातं यज्जातं तत् अगते गत्या कृतं वा न वा इति। अतः पुनः तदुच्यते। कदाचित् वृक्षाणां विषये बहु कथयति। एकदा धृतराष्ट्रः स्वप्ने दृष्टवान्, बाबा वृक्षकर्तनं जायते, कर्तनं जायते, कर्तनं कारितं त्वया एव, अतः कर्तनं जातं, तव कर्तनं जातम् इत्युक्ते स वंशवृक्ष कर्तनं भवति। अत एव उच्यते किल वंशवृक्षः इति गच्छति। एकैकस्य डैनेस्टि वा यत्किं वा भवतु, अस्माकमपि अयं वृक्षः गृहे पालनीयः, अस्य वृक्षस्य कर्तनं न कर्तव्यम्, एवं रूपेण अस्माभिरपि आचर्यते। अयञ्च अस्माभिः विस्मृतः सुपरस्टिशन् अथवा किमपि किमपि उच्यते तत् पराक्तम्। इन् महाभारत when the Pandavas was given half the kingdom, they had to build their capital Indraprastha. This required the clearing of the forest, and in order to do this effectively, the god Agni burned the forest Khandava Vana. Krishna and Arjuna went to Khandava forest which was situated on the bank of Yamuna. It was during this fire the Lord Krishna Pandavas and he had saved Maya, the architect of belonging to the Asura tribe. Asura Maya was so overwhelmed by this gesture that he built a renowned Mayasabha and also the assembly hall for his new kingdom Yudhishthira. This hall was famous for its grandeur, bejeweled beauty and illusory effect. This story initiates the final civilization of animosity in the Kaurava clan towards Pandavas that will eventually evolve to the Mahabharata war. The Hall of Illusions created a Maya as essentially fostered and age-old folly of man, his ego. Through the blindness to reality, Duryodhana has unleashed destruction and anguish upon himself, his family and countless others